Hey, what's up and welcome. I am Matthew Musingati, the designer and developer. In this video, I want us to talk about an important topic, an important subject, and that is HOC. What does HOC stands for? If you are a React developer, you will know a thing or two about high order component. So obviously, before we get into details, maybe you don't really know what is a high order component is. I'm going to give you some sort of a lightweight, a brief description of what a high order component is so that you can understand why is it important, obviously according to me. Okay, so a high order component, it's some sort of a design pattern. Okay, in programming we've got technical skills. Okay, maybe let's say C# skills, or some sort of, let's say, your arrays, your loops and whatever. Okay, that's some sort of a technical skill. Okay, but as you solve problems, okay, as developers have been solving problems, they realize that there are some certain patterns forming. Okay, it's more like in business, we can say these are strategies. Okay, very general solutions that works for most parts. Okay, and then we call those in IT or in software development pattern. So a high order component, it's a React design pattern. It's some sort of a strategy, a certain way of thinking about code that you can use to solve certain problems. I hope I've managed to make it super simple for you. But if not, please don't mind. Just shoot a comment below and tell me to explain it more. Maybe I will send you a link to a video where I am explaining in details, even with code, what a high order component is. Just think of it as a strategy, a design pattern. Okay, so let's get into the content, what it does. Okay, a high order component, it's like a function. Okay, it's a function that consumes dependencies. Okay, or it's a function that consume another function. Okay, obviously I understand it might be a little bit complex, but please bear with me. I'm going to make it super simple for you. It's a function that takes in another function. Then once that function is in, once it consumes that function as a dependency, what it does, it changes the props of that function. Let's say the function that I have consumed is add pizza. I don't know why would I call the function add pizza, but just stay with me on the concept here. Okay, I've got this function, it consumes another function which is add pizza. So once I consume this function add pizza, meaning that whatever that I was consuming, it didn't have pizza before. The function that I've consumed, it has got nothing to do with pizza. Now I need to add pizza in it, and then I will return it back with a new feature, which is pizza adding feature. So in React, we name high order component with something. Okay, as you can see now, I hope the patterns are starting to form. The reason why we call high order component with something, it's simply because you create a function that consumes another function and it adds a certain prop. Okay, in my case, the prop is pizza. So my high order component name will be with pizza. Now, maybe that was not really general and it made some of you hungry because I'm talking about pizza. Let me try to some sort of come up with a very close to real life example. Okay, let's say I'm a car manufacturer. Okay, I want a function that will calculate the price of different car models. Okay, so this function needs to be general. Okay, meaning that it doesn't really have to calculate a price for a specific model. Okay, now I will create a high order component. Okay, let's say with Mercedes, meaning that once I consume that function that is general, now that function is going to be able to calculate a price for Mercedes. I hope you get that idea. The function gets in, being general, it doesn't know how to calculate a price for Mercedes. Now I will inject that price for Mercedes, and then all of a sudden it comes out as a pinned version with features of calculating for Mercedes. If you don't get it, please don't mind. So what's the deal about high order components? I'm not going to mention this guy's name, but he is a prominent guy in React. And I believe he has played some sort of a major role. He came up with some sort of some what can I say, some frameworks around React. And so I saw his video presenting, and he was saying high order components are dead. Obviously, when I watched that video, okay, my mind automatically disagreed with him, but I discredited myself. I was like, who am I? Like, the guy is prominent. Okay. I was like, who am I? But based on my own knowledge about high order components and how I read them, I felt like I don't think high order components are dead. Okay. So the guy was arguing that instead of using a high order component, you can use a functional component. Okay. Now, functional component, they are trying to replace high order component, or he was saying something like that. To be honest, I battled with that for a very long time. I didn't want to let go of high order component. The pattern was beautiful for me. Okay. I'm not going to get it into the technicalities of it, but I'm just going to give you some sort of the conceptual aspect of it. Okay. So I battled with this, like, must I throw high order components away? Or, but the more I was diving deep and using high order components, is the more I realize that I can't do away with high order components. They are solving a unique, a specific problem in the React ecosystem. Okay. Something that I thought the functional components couldn't solve. And I've been trying to check other patterns to some sort of replace it. Okay. Or I think not necessarily a functional component. My apologies. Hooks, React hooks. Okay. Something that React hooks can solve. React hooks are brilliant. I agree with the guy, but they couldn't solve the problem of high order component. Okay, up until I created my own accounting system. And that's where I felt like I cannot do without high order components. Okay, please bear in mind, or please understand that this is my personal opinion. So I'm going to share with you what I did with high order component that changed my life and made my life super simple. Okay. Okay, cool. Now let me give you the details. If you are a Next.js developer or React developer, or even a web developer in general, you create pages, right? Cool. These pages have to connect to the internet. So there must be some sort of a logic, a function to connect, not necessarily to connect to the internet, to fetch data, to connect to the database. Okay, cool. So time and again, you are going to use in this page, you are going to create some functions, and a lot of them that create specific things. Okay. So in doing so, you will start to pick up that there are some functionalities that you need, mostly for 90% of all the pages that you create. Okay, let me put this into perspective. I'm creating an accounting system. Okay, as I'm coding, I'm realizing that when I'm going to create a page, I am going to connect to the internet. I need a React query. In this page, I am going to display a table. I need a 10-stack table. In this page, I will have a form. Somebody has to type something and click. I will need a React hook form. Okay. So in this form, I will have some loading spinners. Okay. When I'm connecting to the internet, I must show a loading indicator. And I realize that as I'm creating more and more pages, well, I hope as a developer, you are starting to see the problem there, because I'm repeating myself. It's like I'm copying and pasting the code. Okay. And this is not like small code. As you can see, I have like mentioned almost like 3 packages. Okay. With some other things. It doesn't end there, guys. It's a lot of things that I need in each and every page. Okay. So let's narrow down the scope. It's not only the page that needs these things, but even a form. Okay. If I'm creating a form, let's say a login form, it will need React query. It will need a loading indicator, and it will need some other things. Okay, a lot of things. So I was like, it looks like I'm repeating myself. Okay, I have tried to solve this problem with hooks. Well, why don't you create a hook that will supply you with these things? Okay, looking at the nature of a React component, it was befitting for me to create a high order component. What does this high order component do? I have named this high order component with utilities. Now, I hope you understand why the name of the HOC, the high order component, is with utilities. So there are some certain utils that I need. Obviously, in terms of the naming, please bear with me. Maybe with utilities is not like a proper name. Well, I do understand that, okay? But at the moment, the name of my high order component is with utilities. So with utilities, consume any component, be it a form, and it will supply it in props with all it needs to perform well, okay? So if you look at this, every form that I have, it's wrapped with utilities. Why? Simply because if you put that form inside with utilities, it will inherit, it will automatically get a lot of code that I will have to type and repeat myself. The more I repeat myself in more than, let's say, 5 components, now when I have to maintain the code, I need to change it in 5 more places. Well, the hooks guy might say, a hook can solve that problem. Believe me, it can. But the way it does it, high order component takes it a level deeper because it handles other components and it injects props. What I wanted to do, I wanted to take a general component like a form, which will do whatever. I want to consume it. And once I consumed it, I want to inject some props in it so that when I'm returning it, I am returning it as a pimped version. Okay, meaning that it comes here without utilities. It cannot connect to the database. It cannot show a loading spinner. It doesn't have some React hook form functionalities and all of those things. But once it's consumed by a high order component, it comes out with all those things. This has helped me a lot. A one-man show, okay, it's only me trying to create a fully fledged application. Now, creating component, what's easy? It was like a McDonald's franchise. I don't have to think a lot because I've got an HOC that will always supply my components with everything that they need. So I have decided to have a plan of props or dependencies that I always need in each and every page or in each and every form. And I was done with them. I checked them, double checked them, fixed the bugs. When I was happy with these, and then I have put them in the high order component so that whatever component that I inject, I will fit in these things and I will use them inside. They are always in one place and I'm using them everywhere. If I could give an estimate of how much time that has saved me out of 30 days, like it has saved me like almost like 17 days of coding. So what I was going to do for 17 days, okay, that 17 days has been cut off. Okay, from 30 days, 17 days has been cut off because I don't repeat myself. My code, it's easy to maintain as much as it's some sort of a big application. Okay, before I used to have a problem. As my application grows, as I am working on it, it becomes spaghetti. If you don't know what is a spaghetti code, it's like something that is complex. In my own language or in my African language, we call it mix masala. It just means that it's a collection of confusion. You don't understand where were you and what you were doing. You don't really understand it. The code is spaghetti. So creating an application, more especially an enterprise level application, comes with a lot of things. And how you come up with solutions, the strategies that you are implementing determines if you are going to win and you are not going to win. If you've been following this channel, you will know that I have been attempting to solve this problem like for a long time. I always update you to say that I am busy with my accounting SaaS system, and this is what I'm struggling with, and this is what I don't understand. This is what I can't solve, and this is what is difficult for me. I quit. Then I will come back again, maybe after 2 months, and then I'll tell you guys this is an update. Okay, so this is one of those updates. But I have used a high order component and it has made my life easy. I started to some sort of be productive, and I started to see the future in the accounting system after trying so many times. High order component has helped me. But now the problem that I had, this guy is prominent in the industry and he's saying high order component it's dead. And here I am tried to solve this problem with the hook. Well, it can solve the idea of code sharing, okay? Having your code in one place and share it in multiple places. That is what I didn't need. That was not much of my problem. My problem was not only sharing the code, but I have to pass it through props. And unfortunately, to me, I'm not sure about you, you can shoot a comment below. Unfortunately for me, or the only way I could do that, it was through high order component. Well, I had to make I'm not sure what can I say, the tough conclusion. As much as I'm not a prominent guy, I don't have anything, or my name is not prominent in React or whatever. But it seems like to me, I'm not sure about you, it seems like to me, we need high order components. Well, you can share your own experience about high order component, what you think. I know this is some sort of a worldwide debate. If you can search on the internet, high order component, you will see a lot of opposing views on high order component it's dead, or it has been has been replaced by hooks and whatever. But my question is, do we really need high order component? For me, in what I'm developing now, something that I'm going to share with you soon, it's just an accounting system for freelancers by freelancers. Okay, I've just seen some sort of a gap in the market, and I'm trying to solve that problem. Okay, helping you to quickly create a code and an invoice and quickly check your business performance in a very simpler and a smaller version. Okay, I'm going to reveal this application soon. But my question to you is, do we really need high order component? As for me, Matthew Singati, the designer and developer, high order components are helping me right now. They have made it possible for me to finish the SaaS business, or the SaaS startup, or my tech startup. So I'm Matthew Singati, the designer and developer from South Africa. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.